On. Let's get the Yeti mic on. We'll get the noise going and hopefully everybody can enjoy it. We got some warm-ups going on here between Waters and Cook. I got my replay running. I think we're in good state. So, assuming that I'm alive, let's get some chat going. I'll post this up on Facebook. Draw some attention. And let the fun begin. All right. Let's get the graphics up as we get ready for the first string. Obviously, I've got it chipping into the bottom of the bowling. And it is what it is. The confused look. Wow, Rando with a hammer. There's a league bowling on the side of these guys. Unfortunately, they're stuck down to just the one lane because of the... I'm all good. We're alive. You guys can start it up whenever you're ready.
No.
That's it. Let's see what happens. I had to raise my camera up because we got a couple of tall guys here. But we should be good. We should be live. I'll try to keep a vision into what's going on here. Waters, despite being the home bowler and his 127 average, has decided to bowl first against Cook at a 113. There is no handicap here, so it's just straight out who beats up who. And here we go as Waters throws his first ball. Definitely, wow. Not much better a way to start than that one as Waters drops a hammer right out of the gates. I'm going to hold up before I call it one way or the other, simply because I want to make sure you know, these guys, the way that they throw, this could easily be more than just one. Waters steps up with the first ball to Phil on his strike. Looks like he's a little off the mark, but crushes out 5, so we know that's saying a single. I'll make it pretty. Oh, that's not pretty enough. I have to fix that little graphic. That's going to bother me. Off the head pin with his first ball. Let's see what he finishes up the Phil with. Second ball doesn't get the sweep as he picks up the 4 horsemen, but leaves the 9 pin in behind. See if he can pick up the single pin. He's got a piece of wood rolling around in front that's hopefully going to pitch up against the lip and stay still, which it does. So now all he's got to do is hit the candy cane. Looks like he's off the mark. He'll take the 9 as he moves into box 3. Alrighty. Alrighty. Water steps up for box 3. Heavy on the head pin, picks up the split with the 2, 4, 6, 10. Yep, I definitely have some work to do on my graphics. It's going to drive me nuts. I forgot to update that. I apologize now for my failure. Hey, Candlepin Corner, thank you for the follow, buddy. Justin picks out one of the bunch. I will get these right. This is going to bother me that I took the score sheet that had the improper artwork in there. See if Justin can get it out here as he's sitting here looking at the 2 alone and then the pair on the side. A little off the mark, settles for an 8. So 36 after 3 as he gets going. And coming up on box 4. Looks like I need to stretch some artwork here. I'll do what I can behind the scenes. Heavy on the head pin, rollover. All right, so he dodges the split, looking at just the left wing with the 2-4-7. Should be an easy sweep for him if he's on the mark. Solid ball, and absolutely as expected, picks up the spare, nice and easy for Justin. Going for the fill on the 4th. Sitting at 46 plus this ball as he sets up for Jake. Don't mind my ugly scoring. It'll get better as we go. Another ball, beautifully on the head pin. Does it take another? Does it take the corner? Roll forward. Oh, everything but the 6. He's got a piece of wood rolling again back to the lip. Looks like it could be a block, but he's going to have to hit this guy high, possibly on the cap to drive it in. Let's see how it looks. So 55. I missed the slash, and unfortunately the wood did play the blocker for him. So it's going to be a 60-something half. We're looking at 65 with the pin here. Just off. So 64 for the half, and we're going to get ready to have Jake come up to the lanes, and Justin's looking to get buried, but I think that's a pretty solid half. We'll see what happens. Jake was pretty good in warm-up when he wasn't taking it seriously, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we'll see the splits going as we go. And as you can see through the splits and the stats here, Justin had 4 out of 5 head pins, a strike and a spare, and unfortunately for him also a split. Jake's first ball, not to be outdone on the head pin. Absolutely crushing strike. Yes. Depends on what she's like, though.
That is true.
Alrighty, so both of them start out with strikes. Let's see if Jake can double it up. Either of these guys fully capable of. Speaking of which, I probably shouldn't have put the artwork in because of that, but Jake's also off, and he's got, is it going to go? Yep, so he's got high-low jack with a little bit of wood. I don't think it's necessarily helpful as the one pin continues to roll up to the lip. A couple of candy cane pins there, which I'm not a fan of. Ball's on it. Oh, and it went. Beautiful. Let's get a clip of that one because that was a no other way around. We'll put that one back on the screen because that was a hell of a shot while Jake gets ready for his third box. A little delayed, but it gets over there and makes the kick for a spare. So strike on spare is Cook sitting there at 20. Thanks for the chat there, Mike. It was a lucky saw, but that's the way you hit it. He's on the head pin, but wraps around and leaves himself the diamond on the right. So 36 after 2. At this point, he's a little ahead of pace, but obviously Justin had the spare late in the 4th. Oh, that ball looked like it was light, and it was. Jake off the target, a little frustrated looking at the diamond still. I'll put in the artwork since that's not going anywhere. Hey, the spare looks nice. There it was. Always easier on the last ball. Is that you, Rourke? Yeah, he's a great bowler when he's not pissy. So the key to beating Jake is to get him pissy early. Hey, Penguin, thanks for the follow, buddy. I do some streaming when I can. I try to teach the guys from all around. Jake a little off the head pin, leaving the 1-3-6. I try to stream and have some fun. Oh, is that Rourke? Oh, there we go. How you doing, Ides Watcher? Thanks for popping by the stream. That works for me. Oh, Jake punches out the head pin heavy. So now just looking at the 4-7 for another 10. He's frustrated over the punch and obviously leaving spares on the table. I imagine he'll be, nope, looks like he's off to the right, and no Millis love on the wood, so we'll settle for a 9. So they're even up after 4. Let's see if he can match Justin and tie him up. I like trying to have as much of the information that I can have in there, and obviously I can bring up the whole match at once as well. So as we go on, I'll try to keep things up. Hey, Hoagie, thanks for the follow, buddy. I definitely want to make sure that I can kind of... Oh, he's on the head pin heavy, but unfortunately leaves the 10 stranded. Hell of a ball by Jake. The wood's a little easier than it was for Waters, but it's still another one that could be a roadblock. I think he's got to hit that on the left side of the stripe to hope to carry it straight back. Here comes the shot, and unfortunately, I think he caught the cap. And the cap blew up in his face, kind of kicked him off into no man's land, and that's not going to do anybody any good. So unfortunately, let's see if he can pick up a single pin to gain a lead here. And oh, he's just off, so we are absolutely neck and neck as Waters comes up for the second half. This is what it'd be nice if you guys were both going at the same time. I'd rather you guys both be going at the same time and then crisscross, but just makes sense. But I guess you get tired because you don't stop bowling that way. I like that though. It's Millis. You never know what's going to happen. All right, Waters up to the plate on the. Jesus. Yep, that's what happens when you hit the head pin. You get absolute garbage. So I don't think I can really justify anything about that ball. I don't think that Justin did a damn thing wrong the way that he threw it, and now he's just got to deal with a plank that didn't help him. So now he's looking at the 7, 9, 10 as Jake pounds my table and shakes the cameras, but that's always fun. They're allowed to do it. They're bowling. They can make a mess of things. Oop. Justin settles for picking out one of the crowd. Takes the 8 box, leaving the 7, 10. And I'm sure he'll be right back at it. So unfortunately for Justin, he's leading in the head pin spot, in the head pin hits. But Outrun the Bear is it's a hell of a tournament to watch. I'm not good enough to bowl in any of this stuff. I just sit back and talk crap on TV. It's easy behind the keyboard. All right, Justin's on it. Again, straight in. Spread eagle minus the 10 as he kicks that one out. Let's see what he can do with the 2 wings. If he can get a slice over here, that'll be nice. Yep, that's Millis. If you can't get to the sidewalls, they can be tough lanes. Looks like he's thin on it. Yep, takes the 3 out. I didn't know if he was going to aim for the right of the 2 pin to try to get a kick, or if he was going to go to the left of the 2 pin to try to clear over, which is obviously really hard to kick the 2 into 3. Oh, there's some salt going on here. As Justin cleans up the mess. Digs out from the split, takes a 10 box, 82 with 3 to go. He needs to put something together here. And I need to clear a throat. Give you the stats so you can see right now at this rate, Justin's average is he's coming in at a 117 pace. Jake obviously with a 64 half. At a 128, the hammer, does it roll? It does. No, that's just a straight strike for so hard. Again, normally I'd put my artwork in for the strikes, but I think I know who Ides Watcher is. But these guys, the propensity for them throwing doubles, they definitely will not fill that guy in just yet. Oh, that one looks a little wide. It's on. Does it catch the 5? There's a reason I didn't do it. There's the double. I'm making a point of not highlighting the strikes on this one because there's going to be a lot of them. So I'll look for cool pickups and conversions and go from there. Let's see if we can go for the triple. Ball's on line. Oh, kicked off his foot a little. Oof. Unfortunately, the lemon drop, but still a great way to pick it up. Let's see if he can come back at this mess with just the 6 pin out. Oh, a little wraparound. Unfortunately, he'll have to settle for 6 on the strike, but he's certainly putting this string together finally. And I should probably give him credit for the head pin since he didn't do any lazy back ass-ward strikes on it. Chops out the 1 for a 7, so 1 pin off his average for a solid 126 string. I saw that. Justin's coming back here knowing that he threw it off his ankle. Hey, you know, he's talking you up. Go get it. The worst part is, you know, it's Steve's slime. The lanes are a little warm down here. Oh, Josh, half Worcester to the right to start it off. So as we look at that first string, Waters with 8 head pins, 3 strikes, a spare, and a single 10 for a 126. Jake's second ball, he tries to hit it thin and watch him spin, but settles for clearing most of it. He's got the baby triangle to the right with a 7. So the 2, 4, 5, 7. He's got a bracer there out against the 5 pin. It really won't play too much into the way of what goes on there. Oh! But again, hit the sidewalls here, and Millis will get the action as he punches it off and comes off the wall to clear out the 5. So the reverse check mark goes down. Jake needs to start to warm up a bit here. 10s have been good, but he's obviously going up against a double. Oof. Heavy on the head pin, and unfortunately he's got the main smile to show for it. He's sitting there looking at the 3, 4, 10. There's a piece of wood to the right of the 3, but I don't think it's going to help him. He could try to kick it, but I wouldn't imagine he's going to. Is he there? He does, and oh, he converts it. Nice comeback on that one, Jake. That was really pretty. Should probably go ahead and grab that clip, even though it's a little slow to hit the button. But anytime that you can pick up a weird split like that with a little bit of action, that's definitely something. These guys are elite. Looks like he's coming across the head pin, manages to get it thin. But 7's pretty solid for an opening drop. He's sitting here with the 3, 6, 9. There's a piece of wood in front of the 3 that looks like it's going to be a blocker. I think he's going to have to come up high. Nope, I'm wrong. He catches it right on the line. It was enough to drive it back and pick up 2 spares in a row. Will the spares be enough to keep him ahead of the double? Well, we'll see. I mean, unfortunately for Justin, he only dropped the single on the double. So there is a window here for Jake to come in, sparing away. This is a game of spares, so we'll see what happens. Ball looks a little short, and it is. Unfortunately, Jake just punching out the back triangle as he hits the 6, 9, 10. But 104 to 103, he's ahead, but he's going up against a 16 in this frame, so he's really gonna. Hey, thanks for the comment. Oh no, Jake stays to the side. Thanks for the comment there, corner. Jake's feeling a little frustrated, which, as we know, is kind of the way you want to keep things going against Jake. He's up and in there, and unfortunately picks up the back row, leaving himself the 4 horsemen on the right. He'll have to settle for the 6. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, they're better down at the half than they were when I looked a little bit ago. Alrighty, what do we got? Making sure my mic is back on as I realize I hit my head pin. Jake's heavy on the head pin again, gets a few to fall, but all right, this will look pretty. He's got the 8, 10. He's got a bit of a chance here. He's got a piece of wood that's angled in front of the 8. He's also got a piece of wood off to the side of the 10. And he does. He takes the 10, converts it on the side. That was a pretty little spare. I figured he'd either try to carry him off the wood one way or the other, and sure as hell, he picked it up by knocking the plank in front of the 10 over into the 8. Worked out well. All right, so 6 ties, 7 wins as he comes up with the fill. Whoa! Not only does he manage to pick it up, but he manages to pick it up missing the head pin. So 127 to 126 as Jake takes the first string by 1. So I'll bring up the stats, and as you can see where the match stands right there. You picked up a bunch of good pickups, though. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we'll take that at any point in time. All right, so let's move over off of the first string. Let's bring up the second string on the stats as Justin steps up and gets ready to lead us off here. These are 2 guys that, are they keep their emotions really tight to their chest. All right. Let's see how Justin starts off the second string here. Thin on what? Wow, thin on the head pin, so he takes out what would be a pretty spare. He takes out the 4 horsemen on the left, knocks out the 10. So he's looking at a mess here with the 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Hey, Skull, thanks for popping by, buddy. I'm just sitting here watching. Oh, come on. He hits the check mark. But the 9 says, I'm not going. It's wobbling all over the place. It's still wobbling. It seems to wobble even more after the fact. It ain't wobbling anymore. Justin picks it up for the 10. So clean through one, but he would have liked that spare. Justin doesn't appreciate the lanes being cleaned up the way they are. Ball seems to come back, a little bit of extra silicone spray on it, and kind of messes with his grip. Ball looks good, just off the head pin though, slightly short of where he needs it, leaving the 1-2-10. There's a piece of wood against, 1-3-10. There's a piece of wood against the 3 that may prevent this thing kicking into the 10 cleanly. We'll see what happens as he throws his second here. Ball looks like it's right on where it needs to be, and sure as shit, that wood decided to be an absolute jerk and block him from hitting the 10. Let's see if he can shoot the single in the corner. Looks to be clean on the line. Beautiful ball to convert the 10. So 2 for 2 as he keeps the plate clean over here. Let's try to figure it out.
Just looking at the stat thing.
Yeah, so yellow's head pin on the first ball. So it'll track how many head pins you have on the first ball, spares, strikes, and it predicts your average out for the night every box that you've thrown. All right, here goes Waters looking for his third box opener. That looks good, but no kick on the 10. Heavy ball on the head pin. Good throw. No love on the tap. Stream quality looks really good as I'm sitting here watching. I've got it going in my little twitch in the corner. Is he on it? He is absolutely on it. We'll take it clean as Waters marks up. And we'll see how we can fill this thing up here. As Parkinson throws a... Oh, he's trying to chop a pin in half with a sweep. There's a good summer league going on here. It's the opening night for them in Millis. We'll see what happens with Waters here on the fill. Ball looks right on line. Again, no tap. Everything but the 10. Beautiful ball, right where it needs to be. But again, this is the same. This is the game of spares. So for the third ball, third frame in a row, Waters is looking at having to pick up the single 10. Let's see if he can shoot this one out. No wood, no help. Shooter. He's dead on the mark. So 2 in a row is... Oh, really? That's mean. Didn't need that second piece of art in there. We'll see what happens with the fill here. Again, he's been on the head pin pretty consistently all the way through the match. He's been getting really good drops out of the way. So hopefully he can hold on to his grip for one more box. Looks good down the middle. Looks a little heavy. And I think that counts as 4.5. What an unusual leave. As he punches out the 1-2-5-9. So unfortunately for him, he's on the head pin. He's got the eagle wing to the right and then the 4-7-8 to the left. Let's see if he can clip this. No, heavy on the 3 pin as he punches it out. So now he's got the 3 over to the left and 2 on the right. So he's looking at the 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. There's a piece of wood on the to kind of plank the 4 and 7 that should allow him to sweep the 3, but I don't think it's going to give him enough to kick over. Yep, pretty much as expected. He cleans it up as best as he can, taking an 8. And tell me if you've heard this before, but we have a 64 half. So I'll hover the stats real quickly as Jake comes up. Justin's average is right on par as usual. 190 through a string and a half with 12 head pins out of 15, 3 spares, 3 strikes, 3 10s. But here comes Cook with a 1-pin lead in the match so far, but trailing by 63 right now after Justin's 64. Jake's on the head pin, leaves himself just the triangle over to the left, but we'll see if this wood changes that. I don't think it's going to. It's just going to double up, which this should go with almost any sort of contact on that front one. He's got the 4-7-8. Yep, absolutely the way it should go. So clean on the spare. The 2 of them are bowling really well tonight. Hopefully it keeps like this. It'll be a nice, good, intense match to watch and enjoy afterwards. I got Bob Lee watching over my shoulder. Alrighty. Jake's up and firing away. Looks like it's right on. Kick it. All right. Dodges the split as the 3-pin drops in late. Takes the 7 fill for 17 through 1. So a little advantage on Justin's early setup. Can Jake get the wing? Looks like it might be tight. Yep. Across the wing and punches out the 4. So now he's looking at a little baby split with the 3-7 left standing. This place is always interesting to see how the scores are going to go. There's always the potential for a big number. Jake picks up the field goal, shooting through the 2 of them, unfortunately, settles for the 8, so 25 through 2. No big deal. Just needs 39 in the next 3 to keep the pace. So as you can see, there's a 39-pin advantage for Justin so far in the string, but that only translates into a 38-pin advantage for the whole match. Jake's on the headpin. Is it going to push? No. Solid ball. Great piece of wood right up against a premature spare. I'm not going to change it. It's going to take a miracle for this not to happen. Can he hit the duck? Sure does. Right on the line as you'd expect. Makes it for the easy spare and a couple of marks. So they're both set up there with a couple of spares. Justin's only got a 64 up there, and I don't know why, because I see him as spare 9. Spare 9. And they show him with an 8. Oh, I see what I did. I didn't call it. Couldn't credit for the 9. As Jake spread eagles right through the middle. My mistake on the score. It's 66 for Justin. Somehow I wasn't really paying attention where I should have been. I didn't want to do that, but I'll do spare 4. So Jake going after the spread eagle. Gets some action. Touch it. Oh. It's about as close as you get to cleaning up the spread eagle without not getting it. A little spin, but no touch on the 3. The scoreboard up there is saying Waters only had a 4 on the second spare. So I'm obviously smoking something. I thought he had more than that. But he did have 4 on the spare. I just must have gone up high. Jake giggling at nothing. So settles for the 9. He's down 13. I am missing my mind there as I misscored earlier. I'm sad. All right, here goes Jake. Off the head pin, takes out the wing to the right, which would have been a spare for him not too long ago, and the 10. So he's looking at the clump in the middle. Hopefully picking up a spare here to put some pressure on in the second half. He's going to need a solid ball on the head pin. Looks like he's going across. Nope. Came straight on. Is it going to roll enough to catch it? No. So he basically punched out the spread eagle. Left himself with just the 3-6 to clean this up for a 10. Ball looks like it's right on it. Great kick. So the lead for Waters is 3 in the match and 2 in the series here. Jake also bowling well. 10 out of 15 on the head pin. 1 strike, 6 spares, 3 10s. So he's got an extra mark, but Justin's double and a couple of heavier fills is making the difference. Split. Yeah. That way you can feel bad about how many head pins hits you have that actually sit there and didn't pay off. Justin on the head pin solid. Is it going to rock into it? No. Everything but the 8. Hell of a 9 drop. This one, it's got 2 pieces of wood. They might block each other up, but if you can hit the right one, good thing. Right on it. Didn't know if he was going to go right for the right piece of wood or if he was going to sit there and take the left, but wasn't really there. Got Charlie Collins hanging out here talking with Jake Cook. A lot of action down here. It's definitely a good night of bowling if you have nothing better to do in the summer, but on a Tuesday night. Pop on in and take a look at some good bowling going. All right, Justin's back on it. Boom! Really wasn't much doubt on that one. strike on spare, gives him 81 through 6. He's starting to really turn up the heat. I guess I should give him credit for a head pin hit on that one because that was pretty damn solid. Rob Linehan coming in here. Let's see if we can double it up. Make me have to change my artwork around. Justin's on the line. Same ball. Oh, a little heavy. Unfortunately, the spread eagle's going to give him a challenge to keep this little streak of marks going. See if he can hit a wing thin. We know Jake came just a 2-pin short of picking it up. That, my friends, is a bad time for a field goal. So a 4-fill on the strike. Huh? Second. Yeah. The whole thing's been tight. Rob Linehan coming by, seeing how the match is going. So 102 with 2 to go for Waters. Unfortunately, that 4-fill on the strike is going to bug him for a while, I'm sure. 4-fill on a spare, 4-fill on a strike. Not the way he wants to be doing things here, I'm sure. And actually, I think both of them were by way of spread eagles. He's been on the head pin all night long, so he's got 15 head pins so far, but unfortunately 5 of them have been splits of one version or another. Balls also. Come on! Wow. Another solid head pin hit, rattling the 8 pin. So similar to his 6th box. Same setup here, except for this one's woodless, although there's a couple over to the right that are, no, one now over to the right that could deflect into it, but obviously this guy's accuracy is straight on there. He's going for the pin. Oh! Way to read that one. Yeah. Had a feeling that one dropped out of his hand, but it went. Alrighty, let's see if he can fill this one solid. Dolly throwing a strike over there on 16 out of line of sight. That ball looked like where it needed to be. Again, heavy pocket hit, but unfortunately no tap as the 7-pin stands. Piece of wood lined up pretty straight against it, so he's going to have to either hit this guy cap. I think it's alongside the pin, but it's tough to tell. I'm not seeing the pin wiggling. But on the cap, absolutely. That's the way you need to hit that one to pull it. So 131 plus a ball, and apparently this is not my updated score sheet either. I am sad. I got stuff I got to fix. Excuse me. I tried to rush a score sheet together for the match tonight, and I'm paying the price for it. Normally when I put in my spare, even without a number on it, it'll sit there and put in the 10 pins, but I'm a failure tonight. Doesn't get much better in a fill than that. So spare 9 to end the string and put up a big 140 for Jake to try to chase down. Nice string, Justin. I did. Yeah. And I love the fact that he steps right up to the mic to talk. These guys have it right in front of them, so you get their commentary on the lanes as it comes up. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. I get to sit here and watch guys that throw a hell of a lot better than me. Jake's first ball in the second half goes across the head pin, wraps around, and leaves him the triangle on the right. So the 3, 5, 6, no meaningful wood to deal with there. Oh, and he gets the kick off the wall. Jake's first box, and first mark of the second half. James Humes here, just threw a 137 in the league. All right, let's see how Jake can fill this one. Off the head pin, gets a little extra sweep, but not enough. So he's looking at the 16810. No real wood to speak of here, so he's going to need a clean hit on the inside of the 1 to see if he can take the 3 and get the kick. No! Just off as he goes through the 1-6 gap where the 3 pin used to be. Let's see if he can pick it up for a 10. Duncan with a little kick off a wall over there. Nope. Off the mark again. So he leaves the head pins, which would qualify him for my normal fall team, the missing head pins. We'll see if he can get it back on track. He's got 59 to recover in the last 3 frames, so nothing a spare strike can't fix, right? Good ball on the head pin, but unfortunately too much on the head pin as he pulls the spread eagle. Not what Jake was looking for. You can still do it with spare strike. This will just be a real pretty looking spare. He hits it thin. That's the way that I like to try to do that, but unfortunately he only managed to get himself the 3 pin. All right, Jake, let's see it out. Mike Machichi there spiking the ball for a 4-6 split on lane 12. Oh, nice out. Jake gets everything except for the 6 pin. So the pressure's turned on now. He's going to need a double to have a chance at this one. Well, he's going to need a triple, but sure, a double would get, well, double spare, right? No, we need a big fill. Needs a triple. Well, I don't know if I should call that a head pin hit, but these guys are good. He hit it enough to make it fall in after the fact. It just didn't hit it hard enough to make it any good. So he's got the right wing, the 3-6-10, but he's also got the 7-8 left behind over to the left. Hits the 3 a little light and opens it up a little more than he'd want it to, and now he's looking at a real challenge here with the 6-7-10. Hopefully he can get as many pins as he can out of this, because again, there are 2 points awarded for winning each string, and total pins matters, I believe, for 4 points here in the ACST, so always the pressure on. Come on, Jake, put something together here. Waters is definitely going to take the 2nd string. That much is locked in the math. Jake a little short of the head pin. He gets the opposite kick of what he got the first time, as this time now he's looking at the 1-4-7 instead of the 1-6-10. So no credit for hitting the head pin, but on the other side of it there is no split as the head pin is in play, and a nice pretty pickup there as he hits the what would have been the 1-3 pocket and drives the 1 into the 4-7. Alrighty, it's all about pins, so let's see if he can get a decent fill here as he gets ready to close out the 2nd string. Looks a little light. Settles for a 3, unfortunately, so a 1-11. And there we are looking at it there with a 133 average for Waters, a 119 average for Cook, 266 to 238 for a 28 pin lead for Justin in the match. Each one of them with a string apiece. Waters with 4 strikes, 6 spares, and 3 tens to Jake's single strike, 8 spares, and 3 tens. And just for the sake of giving you guys how the 2 strings have looked, there you have it. A lot of big numbers up as Waters gets ready for string 3. Hey, fills weren't there, but splits are definitely tough. You guys both were. You guys like those spread eagles?
I guess I thought I had a shot. I knew that was the box I had to mark.
Yeah. That one, that first spread eagle where all you had was a 2, really good, and then the second one where all you did is somehow shave the 3 alone. It's like, oh.
Both of them, I was light.
Yep. Waters heavy on the head pin, takes down all the walls. So you get all the King's men. Now he's just got to shoot one right down the middle to pick this up for us. Easy spare to start off the 2nd. It's Charlie Collins there bowling over on 12 on the side of your screen, blocked out by my pin cam. Waters won't be denied. Starts the string off with a spare. Getting the congrats from Jake as Jake walks away. Collins just off picking up his spare. Alrighty. Let's see how we can start off filling this one. We can stay off the streak of spread eagles. Ball looks good for him. A little heavier than he wanted, so he's got a baby split here with the 5-6-10, but in this situation, it's not really a helpful piece of wood. There's one over to the left if you wanted to try to cap it. That's a little far forward, but that's a risky shot. You could try to cap the one to the right, see if he gets the kick off the wall. Looks like he's going to the right. And a hell of a shot, but it's tough when you're playing a pin that's at the same depth as what you're trying to pick up. You know, you got to kick those either directly sideways or forwards, and not enough love there. All right, once again, see if you can pick up the single pin as it's right down the middle. Well, it's a good thing that he didn't try to play the cap to the spare, because clearly it wasn't there. He hit that wood, unfortunately. He screwed him out of the 10. So a 9 box for Justin has him at 26 after 2. All right. So I don't know what their records are. I don't do any sort of research or get into the ACT much at all, but I had some time here today. That's heavy on the head pin. Let's see what he gets. All right. Well, he got a friend to drop later on. He's got the 8 sitting alone. He's got 3 pieces of wood on the lane. He's got 2 angled going left to right angle back on the right, and he's got a real hard block almost perpendicular right in front of the pin. Yep. He tried one of the shields. It was all 3 pieces of wood between the 2 that he had here and the one there. His only real, maybe if he caps that guy straight on, just tough either way. And as you can see, Jesus, the wood moves everywhere, but where he needed it to. So a heck of a first ball. Wood can help you sometimes, and it can absolutely be a complete banana in the tailpipe. And unfortunately, Justin was on the tailpipe version of it here. So 35 through 3, a little off his pace from the other games, but not by much. He really has been throwing heavier second halves. I take that back. Really, the first one. There it is. Boy, it looks easy. It absolutely looks easy when he goes ahead and hammers. They mix around. We got an early 10 going for Justin. Oh, look at that. My strikes do count, but my spares don't. So there's something in my calculations I need to fix, and I will address that. Light on the head pin. Is it going to mix for the double? No. Solid hit. Just the 2-4 to convert, but that piece of wood's going to have to be hit high and hard to carry through those 2. He's got a plank over to the right if he wants to try to kick it. Nope. Right at it. That's absolutely the way to do it. So spare on strike. As Waters leaves one hanging for the second half, sitting there at 65 plus a ball. Good half. And Jake steps up, hoping to keep up with this first half. That's going to probably be 70 or above. Jake comes in a little thin. Is he going to get the tap in the corner? No. Wow. The 8 fell down, but the 10 pin probably leaned about as far as you're gonna before dropping. It's got a neat piece of wood up here. Is it gonna make it happen? No. Left the 7 pin on a little wraparound. So just a single lone 10 pin with no wood. Jake's right on it for the 10. Alrighty, so a little bit behind as Justin started off with a spare, and I think that's actually the first string now that Jake actually hasn't opened up with a mark. Heavy on the head pin with a 3-1 split, but unfortunately for him, the one that's there is the 4 pin, not the 7. So 2, 4, 6, 10. There is a kicker next to the 4, so if he can get the 2 over there, he's got some help. And beautiful little spare as he slices it across. Nice shot, Jake. Give him the spare. Let me check my stream, make sure I'm showing the right string, which I am. Hey, you know, weirder things that happen. So as you can see right now in the match, Justin's up 45, though Jake's about to cut into it with this next ball. And overall in the match, Justin's got a 73 pin advantage. Jake on the head pin. Is it going to topple in? No. So the triangle to the left a good shot, so he's looking at the 2-4-5. There's a piece of wood in the middle, but it's not going to be much of a meddler. Should carry it for him even if he hits the head solid. 2 in a row as Jake just absolutely obliterates the middle of that triangle. Shooter! Oh, you know what? I should enable those. I'm pretty sure I have those graphics loaded. Things to do for future streams. We can have a little bit of fun. What's going on, Bob?
Hey.
You having fun back there?
Yeah, I heard Jake needs 7 to stay alive, my understanding in this match. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the. I have no knowledge whatsoever of the standings.
6 on the bill as he cuts it down to the diamond.
He does.
Micah
He
looks good.
he got the rep.
Getting one of these machines. It just arrived today, actually.
Nice.
Paul Grant has it.
He's teasing you. He's teasing you by keeping it there. Oh, Jake keeps 3 in a row by obliterating the diamond straight on. So.
You have to start giving out quarters for those. 25 something anyway.
There you go. Well, Jake's not going to hang behind in this half. He really is challenging it right here. Good news is they're pretty much neck and neck, depending on what the fill is.
How's the head pin count going?
Really solid. Really solid. Unfortunately, speaking of head pins, Jake is on it for all 5 of them in this half. And just like Justin is sitting there looking at the 5-6-10 split. Now he's got a kicker on the wall, angled a little better, that might help him on the carom. He's also got a pusher all the way to the left that he's going for. No. So the 7 fill and sitting at 8. So he did, but it was worth the try. You know, obviously the kicker there, he could have hit the plank in front of the 6-10 and hoped that it would have pushed his ball into the 5, but he went for the guy over on the side. And looks like he just pulled that one a little tight. So a 68 half, which is still pretty damn solid, but unfortunately he's dealing with. That's right. I know. I was trying to figure out if you were going to push the.
I want to hit on the
I know you did.
on low on the 7.
Yep, to kick it across. I think so too. And I also thought that one had a bit of an angle, so you might have been able to hit the 6-10 and have it kick out.
Well, I was like,
It was 50-50.
I could see it going right, but left, if I just hit the 7, it was just going to sweep.
I thought so too.
I mean,
It's
the
fun.
Red ones are fun.
It's so fun to sit here and like watch and try to think about how you guys are going to do it. So Waters looks up for the fill here. He looks like he's straight on the line. Gets a little Millis love. What could have been a really ugly split becomes a little unusual but manageable. And he pushes his lead with a 73 half to 5. So we're looking at the 3-8 with a couple of planks in behind the 3 to help him kick it in. And just as you might expect, it went pretty much dead on, driving it back there. See if I can do a quick replay here as Jake picks up the 3-1 split earlier in this match. This was pretty solid as that ball just kind of came in and shaved right in clean. Nice explosion on the hit. Waters a little heavy on the Brooklyn side, so unfortunately his string of splits continues. This one a little uglier. He's looking at a woodless version with the 3-6-7. So it's a 2-1. A little easier to pick up than, say, the 3-4-6, but still requires a slice. Oh, absolutely on it. Nice pickup. I'll get a snap on that one, and let's take a look at this one real quick as he gets ready to fill it. So again, this was the ball he just threw. 3 in the 6, clipping out the front of the 7. Pretty little spare. Alrighty, looking for the fill and to put some real pressure on. A good high-scoring match here so far. Little lift on the ball. That might have kept him off the head pin. First time in a while. Actually, first time this string.
That's a lot of head pins in a row.
It really was. He broke the streak. So he's sitting here looking at the 1-3-9-10. Sorry, 1-2-9-10. Up. That one again, a little bit of grip, a little bit of lift. He ends up just punching out the 9. So the 1-2-10 to keep this string alive. I'd say a perfect game, but he had a couple 9s early on in the match. Let's see what we got here. No, he punches out the 3. So, all right, not Justin's happiest box of the string, but 114 with 2 to go. It's a real solid number up there, and we'll see if he can get a couple more smudges up on the board before this one ends. Got a whole bunch of replays we can take a look at the end of this match, and and have some fun. Maybe I could do the playback with these guys watching. Oof. Well, the good news is he's back on the head pin. The bad news is he's back on the head pin. So unfortunately, a rough split. Another one of these weird ones here is he's got the 4-7 with a straight pin to the far left, and then the 6-9-10. If he can get outside the 6, he might be able to kick it off the 9 and into that plank. Nope, he's going right at the plank. Oof. Unfortunately, capped it and wrapped it. So certainly not the outcome he was going for. Certainly, I'm not going to tell him he did anything wrong. I just might have gone at the side. He's holding on a little tight, so settles for an ugly 6 as he leaves the Nixon up there, and sitting at 120 with just 1 to go to finish this up. So certainly not the second half he would be hoping for after a big opening 73 half, but a mark here can change all of that. Oh, come on, unbelievable. Don't know how he can hit the head pin and have it rattle like that. But I think this is a pretty common pickup for him, just having to shoot down the middle and pick up the kingpin. So 1 straight ball, and Justin will have a spare in the 10th. That looks dead on. Oh! Jake with a sigh of relief as there's a chance as Justin comes up just left of the kingpin. It's tough to try to guess when I'm seeing over his shoulder which way his ball is going to go, but a little hook in there as he knows he left a bit on the table. Justin has to settle for a lowly 130. 1 strike, 4 spares, and a 10. 9 out of 10 on the head pin. Just slipping off. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. Oh no! Jake's opening ball, a little bit of a loose goose there as he punches out the baby triangle off to the right. So with only the 6, 9, 10 missing, he's looking to throw a recovery ball. There's a little lift on that. So a little too good of a grip, gives it a little lift, and it didn't come up as high as he wanted it to. So he's sitting here with just the 1, 2, 4 to clean up for a 10. And has to settle for the 9 as he leaves the head pin standing. All right, Jake on his second. Boom. Much easier that way. So a full pocket destruction. Waiting for some pins on the machine, but that was one hell of a hit. Let's take a look at the pretty little 247 again that Justin picked up not too long ago, back before his hand started to give him some fits. It was a heck of a pickup. Alrighty, so Jake with a hammer and a fill. Alright, so is that going? Is it coming forward? No. Jake, you're out of pin. Oh, that's right, strike. I hate these guys when I look up and I see it. And right on it as he picks up the spare. No. As I try to be smart watching the score and these electronic scoreboards that are always just slightly off. So spare on strike as he clumps the wood up and takes down the 5-6. Let's see if he can fill and get back in this one. Tell me if you've seen this before. So unfortunately for him, the same kind of head pin love that he had this time. This time the 10 stays in. So he's got not really a piece of helpful wood on the left. He's got a relatively straight plank against the 6-10. It's going to be hard to get the kick that he wants off of that, but we'll see how it goes. He's on it high. No kick, unfortunately. So everything but the 5-pin. He's got a piece of wood up against the 5 to kind of extend it, so he can probably hit it from the line in. And there he is, right on the line to settle for the 10. So needs a 6 to tie the strings, 7 to take the point. He is still trailing by 34 overall in the match. So this will help chip into that lead a little bit. Let's see how the last goes for Jake as he lines up here. Looks good on the head pin. Is it going to rock the corner? Took its time. Looks like a split on the scoreboard here. Wow, as Collins just buries a strike. Jake's got a wrapper in front and back of the 5. And is straight on it for the spare. So he's definitely won the string now at 134 plus. Let's see how much he can cut into the, oh, I see what it is. It's the 10th frame I got to fix. Not so bad. That's all right. Those calculations are a little different. Going for the fill on the head pin. A little light, but gets some help out there. Settles for an 8. So a 142, the high string of the night for Jake as he wins by 12. And as you can take a look, the two of them bowling really well as Jake drops 9 head pins, a strike, and 5 spares, 2 10s on that string. But unfortunately, he's still trailing in the match by 16. All right, let's get ready for string 4 while Justin gets up and warms up, and I will show you what the match looks like so far and how the strings have been. So a 127, 126 for Jake in the first, a 140 to 111 for Justin in the second, and then 142 to 130 for Jake in the third. So Justin's still holding on to a 16 pin lead, and just some really solid strings thrown between the two of these guys. All right, let's start off round 4. Justin's up and at it. A little heavy, doesn't get the 7 to fall, does get the 10 to fall, but I think he would rather see that the other way around. So you have the triangle to the right and the 7 hanging out to the left. So 3, 5, 6, 7, no wood to help him. But if he can hit the triangles thin on the right, he might get that kick that he needs. Looks like he's coming in heavy. Oof. Chops right through it. So now he's looking at the 5, 6, 7. And despite the pins sounding like they should be in order, it's a picket fence out there. You guys are living in a world of splits. You had 5 splits in that last string.
I thought I had one of the last ones too with the 5 7. For the 7 5 in the middle there.
No, that was just the 2, right? Was that just the 2? I can go back and check it. I didn't think it was a 5-7 for the spare.
No, it went down just to 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin a little off the head pin, so he sweeps out the back arrow. He's left with the 4 horse on the left and the 9 pin off to the side. No wood to interfere with him, so a sweep of the 4 horsemen, or if he hits it on the outside to tick him down and then drive through into the 9. We'll see what happens. He's in solid and gets the push of the head pin on it to take the spare. That was a nice solid drive. And again, depending on how hard you throw the ball, that determines really kind of how you have to go at that spare. If you can throw it hard enough to drive through the head pin, you can really go at it more straight, whereas if you've got a slower ball, you generally have to kind of go more into the pocket between the 1-2 to hope that you can get the head pin to come off the wall and take out the back for you. Alrighty, Justin looking to warm up here in the fill. Looks like he's on the far side of the pocket, a little too far. So off the target, leaves the 1-3-6 to the right with a weird piece of wood in front and back of the 6, and then the 7 hanging out to the right. So this should pick up if he throws the 1-3 pocket. We'll see what happens. Looks like he's on it, and absolutely. So another pretty pickup there as he settles for 2 in a row. We'll give him the spare, but we won't give him the head pin. So 37 plus. As Justin gets ready to throw a fill on here. I got Brian Fournier checking out the artwork over the corner. Justin's ball looks like it's to the right side again, left side again. Gets the head pin, but not the way that I'm going to give him credit for it. The good news is he manages to get an 8 fill, and he's looking at just the 6-10 to pick up. He's got a nice plank in front of the 6, but potentially sets this thing up to drive through the 6 and leave the 10 standing. Nope, not that way. So 3 in a row as he crushes it. Absolutely. And the best part is he's not on. He figured I don't like splits, so I'm just not going to hit the head pin anymore.
Here's your head pin for 62 and 2 balls.
Oh, he didn't get that head pin though. They got it for him. Oh yeah. That one's on it. Hits it thin. Wow. Not a lot of logic in hitting that one. So unfortunately hit it thin and left himself with the 3, 7, 9, 10 and not a piece of wood to think about. So hopefully he can pick up the 3, 10 and maybe get some love on the fly here. And unfortunately, welcome to Candlepin, he just chips out the 3 pins. So 7, 9, and 10 are all that remain, and oof, really not much he can do here. So he's settling for the open. Hopefully he can get one. I shouldn't say hopefully. These guys are pretty friggin' accurate. So leaving the 7-10 stranded. 3 spares sandwiched between 8 boxes. So as you can see, Justin right now on a 132.9 average, 465 through 3.5. He was just under a 400 through 3 there with 396. And Jake's coming up to start off his string. They're both learning that the head pin is not their friend tonight. Jake, unfortunately, punching through the head pin, leaving himself the 3, 4, 10. There's a piece of wood outside of the 3, but I think it's too far, so he's going to have to hit the 3, 10 and see what happens. Now they hit the 3 probably on the other side of where he wanted it to give him a chance of kicking out the 4, but 2 pins out of that mess is 2 pins out of that mess. So he's sitting here looking at the 4 standalone candy cane. And yep, I had a feeling that ball looked like it was a bit pulled, so a little off the mark, and starts out with a nice open 9. Unfortunately, that's not bad enough, so he's got a 1-pin lead through 1 in the string, but this is where Justin heated it up. We'll see if Jake can keep pace. Alrighty, second frame, looks like it's on. On the pocket, is it going to slide over to get the tip? No, so the head pin went for a wraparound. Leaves himself the baby triangle over there to the left, looking at the 3, 4, 5. No wood to really help him, so he's going to hit this one clean. Looks like that was a pull. Yep. Unfortunately, Jake tugged that one a bit too far to the left, and the good news is he's still got the same shot to pick up. The bad news is he's still got the same shot to pick up. Is it easier as a 10? A little bit of lift and cleans it up nicely, but unfortunately it's only a 10. Who wants that one back if he can get it?
Yes, I have confirmed with Commissioner Danny Finn that Jake does need 7 points. 7 points tonight, ACST points, so at least a tie.
What's 7? What's
to
that?
avoid being eliminated.
For the all right. So 7 to stay alive. The good news is that wouldn't have been a good fill for Jake, as he's off the target and punches out the half Worcester to the left. All right, let's see if you can convert this one by coming across the head. Nope, he looks like he's light on this one. Despite that ball not being where he would have wanted to be, he cleaned out the 6, 7, 9, and 10. So now he's just looking at the 1, 3, 4. There's a piece of wood to the left of the 1, but that really shouldn't be where he's looking. He should be hitting this in the 1, 3 pocket. And he did, just too hard to drive it over into the 4. All right, so Jake's a little bit behind in this string. Again, this is definitely where Justin warmed up with 3 marks, and Jake's going to need to get a couple going here into the half if he wants to hope at this string. That said, Jake needs 7 pins to stay alive in the ACST and not be eliminated. He's on the head pin. Little baby split, and if that pin stays on, it's got some teasing wood. I don't necessarily know that this wood's going to make this an easy spare in any way, shape, or form. He's looking at the 9-10. He's got an angled piece of wood in front of the 10. I think you'd want to hit that pretty high. He's going a little low on it. Yep, got it right on the stripe, which unfortunately didn't give it enough drive to kick back. So he knocks out the 9, leaves the 10, and the half continues on him.
Came in 12th position.
So he's in 12th.
2 matches remaining, including this one.
Okay.
So after this,
he's got to win. He's got to sweep.
He does have to.
Gotcha. Well, Jake needs to warm up.
Yeah.
It's tough, though. I mean, Justin has been absolutely hot, and once Justin starts dropping him, it's... The only thing that stops him is Steve's treatment of the lanes. Ugh! So Jake decided to try to avoid getting himself in the situation with a split to avoid the head pin, and he did. Unfortunately, the head pin got tripped up, so once again, he's looking at the 9-10. I don't like the wood, but if he comes a little more to the left, there it was. That's where it needed to be to pick that one up. He kicked everything over to the right, swept it out, and hangs a mark to keep himself in this match. A good fill on that mark will.
I love
Good.
that right side
I,
with splits.
I love the fact that you decided to dodge the head pin to stop getting splits, and someone came and took it
I
out
still
for
got a
you.
split.
Absolutely. So the status so far through 3.5 strings, as you can see it real quick as Waters winds up. We're not filling anything here. Whoa! Oh, look at this.
That's a new one.
Won the spread eagle. I should take rid of that split because it's gone. So it started out as a spread eagle. It ended up with just the left wing. A nice little setup here with this wood if you can catch it on the line and drive it back. He was up a little high, still good enough to carry it. There was definitely a lot of dead helpers there to keep him on track. Alrighty. Pressure's back on.
Bowling poorly.
What's that?
I really feel like I'm bowling poorly.
You're not.
I feel like
The
every
both of you,
string-
you're
every
both.
string I'm chasing.
I mean, really, the 111 is the bad string. Justin sweeps back into the head pin, but
You
unfortunately
thought you weren't gonna get a split, huh?
a little lighter than he wanted. He leaves himself to 5-7. He's got a plank up high out in front of the 5. He's got a really nice piece of wood that will angle into the 7. The question is, what's going to happen when he hits the plank and where it's going to hop? Yes, that's kind of what I wondered. So when he hit the plank, it didn't drive straight back. It kind of went a little to the left and left the 5-pin standing. Not for long. Justin right on the single pin, so 97 with 3 to go. As he tries to put Jake out of misery for the ACST. I think that we heard that Jake needed to take 7, so if Justin takes this string, that means Jake needs to take 5 and total. Alrighty, so here we go. Justin lines up, box 8. Looks like he's right on the line again. Head pin thin. And the splits get worse. Somehow, despite the wobble, he's looking at an unfortunate 7-10. Some strange wood in front of the 10. It's a little offline of the 10. He's got a very high piece on the left in front of the 7. He might try to kick that one. He is going for that. Nothing shooting over to the right for him as he just takes out the 7. So the 10's going to be a tricky pin. Maybe he'll go away from the wood and try to pick it up on the outside near the channel. But we'll see what happens here as he lines up looking for the 10 box. Right at the wood. Yep. And unfortunately, the wood punches right out on him. So 106 with 2 to go. He wants a mark here, at least 1, hopefully 2, to make this go the way that he wants. Taking his time, trying to get the grip back on his hand, as obviously the lanes tend to leave him a little slippery for him. He pulled that one a little, pulled that one a lot. So he takes out the left wing in the 10 pin. So the 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, all sitting in the middle. Tough leave, but you got to hit this one hard and heavy and see what happens with it. So Justin winds up and fires at it. Nope, this time to the right. A tough break now as he's looking at just the 1, 5, and 8. Not exactly an easy setup to recover from. I'm going to refresh my chat just in case my chat had been frozen. I don't think that's the case.
That's a real good 10.
That was
Good eagle.
That's a tough way to pick that one up when you have to basically spread eagle in order to pick up the 10. 9 wasn't there, but good solid hit by Waters. 116 through 9. Definitely wants a mark to get back on his average pace and obviously to put the pressure on Cook in the second half. Right on the head pin, but a little light. He washes around and leaves the diamond on the right. So the 3, 5, 6, and 8. As Waters winds up, wants to be hard and heavy on the top of this one. Looks like he's going to the right. And unfortunately just shaves out the 6 pin. So it'll be another open for Justin still. A bad string for him is a 120. I need to be at that point, right? Knocks out the other 2 of the diamonds, so a 125. 125.
Feel that. Feel that.
Oh my God.
That's absolute fucking.
Oh, you know what? It's when you almost need like a Windex, because when you rub it on your towel, once your towel's saturated, it's just ended back on the ball.
Feel that.
It's slick. Do you want another towel?
Hey. Feel that.
All right, Jake up there. Off. Not the fill he was looking for as he takes out the left wing.
That's just from bowling here.
So just the 247. A lot on the table for Jake. We'll see how he cleans up over here. That one looks like it's coming across as well, so certainly not what he wanted as he was hoping to get back into this match. He's got a lot on the plate. See if he can clean it up for a 10. This one looks a little more online. Wow. So a thin hit on the head pin, unfortunately, just takes out the 1-6-10. Jake's not looking for a 6 box, but that's what he got. So unfortunately, that kind of actually took out his spare from before, turning it into a 10 and a 9. Bad combination as he finds himself down 68 with 4 to go. There we go, back on the head pin, real solid. Everything but the 610. There's a plank on the side of him, so we should probably just aim for the 610 and take this guy out straight on. That wood could just cap and be in the way. Looks like he's on it. Oh, full on it, punches out the 6. How you doing, Dan? You can talk, it's all right. You can talk, it's all right. Yeah. So Jake's sitting here now with just the lone 10 pin after pushing everything out. He's spot on it, picks up the 10. So 67 through 7, certainly not a pace he's happy with. As you can tell by watching his face. Needs a couple of marks here, and he can certainly pull up. I see Bob Lee pulling over the radar gun. Jake a little off the head pin. Has the 4 horsemen on the left minus the 2 pin, which got kicked out by the piece of wood coming back and forward. So the 147, I don't like the wood that's in front of the 4. It could prevent this from kicking in right. Nope, he picks up the 1-4 and leaves the 7, so not what he was looking for. And now just having to shoot the 7 to pick up the 10 and live to see the last 2 boxes. Little lift. Yep. On the wood, and it screws him once again. So 76 with 2 to go. Couple of marks here, Jake. Let's see it. Do you want a different towel?
No, I just grabbed another one.
Like I said, I got a bunch in the car if you need them.
Why do you have a different score than what I have?
It's a good question. I'll check it out and see what I did wrong. Jake with a hammer, because I have to check my score. So you were 66 at the half. I'll have to see why. Oh, because I think on the spare, I called you as a spare
Spare
6.
5. Oh, no.
No. Spare 6. They said 7. I said 7. Spare 8. So I see. Jake, off the head pin, 7 on the first ball. So I'll correct mine to match you.
That's exactly what it is right there.
Yep. That shouldn't be right. That should still be spare 6, jerk. As Jake picks a little to the wide, leaves himself with a 7 fill on the strike. Spare 6 instead of a spare 9. That's all it takes. So unfortunately for Justin, that makes his string a little worse. But it's accurate. Jake struggled through the second half, settles for a 101, trails 21. So unfortunately for Jake in the match, it means he's trailing 37, so he needs a monster win in the 5th string to stay alive. He'd have to carry the string and carry total to move on.
That 8 killer was a killer.
That 6 box, the 3 fill 6 box.
Didn't help. Then I was like, all right.
Not
gotta
what you
get back to
wanted.
the Spare.
Yep.
Then I hit the 8 and I got cherry picked the 1 and I went, I'm in trouble. I said, throw double. Yeah, 3 fill was killer.
String 3.
It didn't mix very well.
String 4. No, it did not at all. And then the wraparound afterward, it was just tough.
Yeah, it wasn't a good ball.
So we watch Waters here try to come up in the 5th, and I'll try to keep a better number on where my numbers are mistaken. A little skip on the line there by Justin as he's down a bit low. Off the mark, but leaves the 1-3-6-9. So a side check as he tries to Oh, just heavy enough that he wraps around and leaves a 6 in place. So 39 out of Waters, which seems almost slow, but 34 at the pins, 35, 39 out of your hand. Looking for the single 6 pin, that's pretty much spot on. That surprises me that the ball would lose 5 miles an hour going down the lane.
It depends on your ball.
Yeah.
With different. Does he have a backup ball? Waters a little bit?
No, not really. I think he's got a very subtle late hook left.
Hand is turned. Comes back with his
He
hand.
comes around, yep.
Yep.
But he comes around. All right, so unfortunately punching straight on the head pin, leaving himself with a split. It's the equivalent of the 5-7, but pushed forward. So the 3-4, he's got a guide. He's got a guide in, yeah, you're at the moment 47, so 37 is the match difference. Trying to go to the outside, but he's dead on it. So punches out the 3, only just the 4 there with an easy plank. You just need to relax and have a good time out there. Win by 40.
No problem. I've already taken 4. This is a win.
You were ahead. Significantly.
Hey, Skull, thanks for watching, buddy, as Justin picks up the 10. So clean sheet through 2. You take 6 and try to get 10.
Try to hit the head pin. That's the goal.
You've been doing really well on the head pin.
Micah,
27 out of 40.
Thursday is Tim Douglas is coming here for his match against Justin.
Yeah, Thursday the wife comes home and I'll be tied up hopefully, in more ways than one. But we'll see what happens.
Easy. You're on broadcast.
I'm on my own broadcast. I can make all the bad jokes I want to make. All right, so
Yeah, I just lost the head pin there.
Justin a little off the head pin, stuck with the spread eagle to the left. He's got a piece of wood in the back that shouldn't interfere with anything here, but stranger things have happened in Millis. Looks like he's right on the mark. Flawless on the conversion.
Yeah, I didn't have one.
I couldn't pick one.
What did I keep as my we'll let him throw.
I couldn't hit a horseman.
Got Duncan and Bob over my shoulder, sitting here watching Waters and Cook finish up their last match here. So back and forth each string is gone, as that looks like it's on the pocket, but not quite as solid as he wants. So a 7 fill for Waters as he's back on the head pin. Leaves himself the rear triangle to the right. So 6, 9, 10. No wood to interfere with him either way. This should be fairly clean pickup if he's on it. Looks like he is. Making Jake have to really work to win this one, let alone win it by enough to take the total. So, alrighty. Waters sitting at 47 plus. Solid opening half. We'll see what happens here as he lines up. Well, it looks like it's going to have to catch up quick, and that's going to get worse, unfortunately, for him.
All right. It's got some
Jake, you want to give him a pin? Jake. Okay. So a spare 6, despite the scoreboard not showing it. Got a good plank here, but not enough to carry over. Good bid, but the 10's sitting there. He's got a pretty easy piece of guide sitting right in there. He hits this guy line or higher. Actually, he pretty much can hit this guy almost anywhere. And there it is. So a 10. So a 63 half for Waters, as we'll bring up where things stand. So 129.1. So pretty much right on pace for a 650 series. He's sitting here so far with 5 strikes, 16 spares, 9 10s, and 35 out of 45 on the head pin. Here comes Jake starting off string 5. Looks like it's good. Didn't come up enough for him. And I don't like the way that wood is lying. So he's sitting here looking at the 1, 2, 10, and normally where you want to hit this, he's kind of got a cock block of a piece of wood sitting there wrapped around the 2 to kind of have him hit the cap if he tries to hit this in the pocket. Well, you hit that one a little too heavy, punches out the 1, so might as well play with the wood now since it's pretty much right in front of the 2. So this has the potential to wrap around the 2 and kick off the wall and miss the 10, but we'll see what happens. Jake's on it, and he gets the drive and the helicopter, which not enough to get into the 10. So we'll sit here and watch what happens as like I said, he's definitely in a hole. He'd like to win the string. He'd certainly like to get total, but to the moment, trailing 91 in the match. Off the head pin again, gets a little love out of the back, so he's basically got the 1-2-4, the front wing, to take out. Let's see if he can clear this guy out. So Waters with a 581 at the moment through 45, as Jake is nice on it, right where it needs to be to pick up that spare. So the 1-2-4 is gone. Let's see if he can fill this. So this will give him a slight lead, but Waters did warm up after this with a couple of marks, so Jake's going to have to get on a roll here. That looks good, like it's going to come across, but off. Unfortunately, that turns into the Worcester left for him. So he has a pretty good ball if he can hit the head pin pretty heavy. We'll see if he can shatter this down for a strike. Oh! So he took that half Worcester and split it into a 3-2. So here we are looking at the 3-6-10 on the right, the 4-7 on the left. Woodless, so he needs to hit this thin. And shake it off, shake it off. Right back at him. Come on, Jake. So unfortunately, much thinner, much heavier than he wanted it to be. Has to sit there with a 6-box, which is the last thing he wanted. A 2 fill and a 6-box, again, kind of negating his spare. So effectively a 10 and an 8, and not something that's going to make him happy. There he is on the head pin. There he is getting a little bit of love, and unfortunately the kingpin didn't go. There's a piece of wood to the left that looks like it might help guide it back on course. Piece of wood to the right that if he touches it's going to screw him over, and absolutely the way you play it. Don't touch either piece of wood. Take the easy spare. Let's get it going. Let's get it rolling. But yep, let's see what Jake can do here with the fill. Hopefully a little better than the half Worcester he threw in box 3. And here comes the shot, right on the mark. And unfortunately for these guys, it's been the case all night. Right on the mark hasn't been a good thing. So a 5 fill makes that 42. And again, a really tough pickup here. It's basically the spread eagle without the 10. So 2, 4, 7, 3, 6. Takes out the 3-6, no love from the side wall, so now he needs the wing on the left to at least give him a decent half. There it is. Take the 10, so trailing 11 in the string and 48 in the whole match. Jake sitting here with 29 out of 45 on the head pin, so accurate as hell, but 533 to Waters 581.
Time for that red one.
Yeah, tough fills. Tough fills.
Yeah, they didn't really mix.
No, you guys have definitely been really on and straight. Anyways, here goes Waters starting off the second half, holding on to an 11-pin lead. Yep, solid on the head pin, but the ball may be a bit too straight, so it deflected quick to the left, leaving him the triangle to the right. So 3, 5, 6. No wood to worry about as he lines up at it. That looks good from here, but no, held tight. It's tough to see through his body sometimes. So unfortunately chips out the 5, leaving him the 3, 6. That's on Twitch. That's the live cameras now, the 2 cameras up there. Oh, chops his way out, leaving the 6 and settling for a 9-box. It's fun. Give me something to do so I don't get in trouble. So 72 through 6. Giving Jake some chance to come back in this string if he stays open, but Waters can get hot in a hurry and tends to do just that. So lines up here for frame 7, sorry. Heavy on the head pin. Moves the 6-pin about 1.5 feet before it goes down. So unfortunately still ends up with a split. He's got the wing to the left and the 3. So 2, 3, 4, 7. And it's going to be tough to see how he wants to pick this up, but he's right through the middle, and that's not going to help him either way. So I think at this point in time, he's just going to look for the 3, and if he picks up 4, great, and if he settles with 3, he'll take the out. So Not really what he wants to see, but that's where it stands. And off his target there, so leaves the 2-3, settles for an 8 box, 80 through 7. So with 3 to go, Waters running out of room to go on a streak, but you know he certainly can and can do it in a hurry. Let's see how it goes here. That's a little off the head pin, I think. Yep. And there he is. He punches out the left side and the back wall. So he's left with the 1-3-5-6. So a good pocket ball right here should be enough to carry this through. You're going to want to be a little heavier than a little lighter because you don't have anything to guide you back to the 5 pin. Unfortunately, that sucker there was too straight on. Punches out the 1-5. So just the 3-6 over to the right. A nice easy 10 for Waters. Cleans it up, so 90 through 8. Not the string that he wants, but 2 to go, and anything really can happen. You know.
Justin was just commenting between the games about the grip it's difficult to grip.
Yeah, there's a lot of, obviously when Steve cleans the lanes, you're going to pick up, and puts the spray down, you're going to pick up a lot of it. And, Justin has a really consistent habit of, as he's off the head pin, leaving just a 1-3 without any wood to worry about. He's got the habit of cleaning his ball every time. So unfortunately what happens is now all the spray gets into his towel. And as you start to clean your ball, you're just basically saturating the ball with the spray. Everything but the head pin. If he misses this, he qualifies for my team, but I don't see him missing this anytime soon. That sucker's right on there. So a 10 is Waters uncharacteristically is sitting here with 100 through 9, 1 box to go. The good news is he only needs a triple to get back to his average. The scary news is we can do that at any point in time. So
What are you coming to tonight?
127. And he's not too far off of it. He's at 126.1 right now, so that's the way to do it, but not a lot of love late in the series. He's got an interesting plank off to the side, so he's got an angled piece of wood outside of the 5/8. So if he hits this low, you got to go high. I would kind of go low to kick it around. Boom! Yeah.
You listen to me.
No, that wasn't the cap. It looked like it was on the line, but
Right on the cap.
all right.
Right on the geometry.
I'm gonna save that one. Save 20 seconds of it so we can watch that nice and slow. See if I can catch a pause in that in time. So the fill, a little bit of lift, which is not necessarily a good thing. Has to settle for the 3 fill on it, so a 113, which brings him at a 631. A little off his pace, a 126.2 for the night, but Jake needs 62 to take the string back in the second half.
Even if he wins the game, the 6 points would mean he is eliminated.
Right. Well, you never know. He blows up this half and
Yeah, right. How about that?
things are different. So that's the way to get back on it. So Jake opens up the second with some fireworks. We'll give him the X there for the strike. Just what I need. 126.2 on the night.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. I can't hold on to my ball.
Well, you shouldn't have shaved him so close. All righty, let's see if Jake can double it up here. He's on hard, he's on heavy, and he's into Splitsville. So let's see how the wood looks. It's kind of interesting. He's got an angle over to the side to tease him. Huh? You are plus 98 overall, plus 61 on the string, but I haven't got his fill in yet. Oh, he tried to get behind it, and unfortunately, I don't know if the cap would have helped. It would have kicked him off. He would have had, yeah. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. So he takes the 7 fill on the strike, and unfortunately opens on the box, leaving the 7. So he's at 76 with 3 to go. Needs 37, and I'll show you where all the strings are at so far for the night. So it's been some pretty decent bowling with a couple of struggle strings here late. As Jake steps up in the 8th, down 37 in the string. Unfortunately, again, on the head pin, but too hard. Leaves himself a 2-1 split there with a 3-4-6. There's a kicker on the inside of the 4, so if he can pick up the 3-6 clean, he's got a piece of wood in the back that might stop the 3 from driving into the distance and hopefully catch the kicker. Nope, didn't help it enough, and the 4 caught some air and went away, and not enough of a nudge there. So just the 4-pin next to a couple of sticks lying straight. Should be an easy 10, but running out of time for Jake to get back into this match. Unfortunately, I think for him, oof. He threw that one. It's coming back at you. He threw that one hard and heavy, and unfortunately missed his mark. He did bounce out of the pit, but I wasn't sure if that was, I think that went into the pit off of the lane, so it would have been a live ball. I don't think it went in out of the gutter. All right, so down 28 with 2 to go. He definitely needs at least 1 smudge, probably 2, to give himself a little comfort here. And a good ball in the head pin. Where's this? Whoa, the wood ran by. So no, it's a baby split. It's a baby split with a trailer. That's the 3-7-8. So he's sitting at minus 21 at the moment. He needs this, and this is a tough convert. Oh, he picked up the 4-7, the 2-7, but left the 8 back there. So a single pin that'll cut this down to 18, meaning he needs a heavy mark to take this string. Needed every pin that he gets. He's got this one here. So again, the gap for the string is 18. The gap for the match is 55. There's no chance of taking the match for him, but the string is potentially up here. Just take a deep breath, drop one down the middle, and let's see what happens. Off the head pin to the left. So he's sitting here looking at the 1, 3, 8, 10. He's got some unusual wood in between here. So I think if he comes off, he kind of needs to hit the head pin heavy. It'll be interesting to see if he can drive through the head pin, hit the wood, and have that push into the 4-7 and back into the 8. I don't know, Greg, how would you play this one? You can hear you anyways.
Great difficulty.
That's unreal. Wow. I think I want to keep that one because I want to see how that actually didn't go. So he punches out somehow gets the 1-7 out of that mess. Just the 6-8, and he leaves it on the side in frustration.
Sure he missed the head pin on the end there, but that was.
Oh, I know.
That back half.
I really don't know. So unfortunately for Jake, that didn't go the way that he wanted. We'll take a look here at the overall strings, and it's not exactly where things would want to be. So Jake took the first one by 1 and the third one by 12, but unfortunately Justin, winning in the second by 29, kind of set the pace. The fourth by 21, and winning the last by 10. That's going to give him a pretty solid outcome. So not really the show that he was looking for, but let's go back and take a look at the stats. So Waters with a 631, Jake Cook with a 584. As you can see, Waters was 38 out of 50 on head pins. Cook was 33 out of 50 on the head pins. 5 strikes, 17 spares, and 11 tens for Waters. 4 strikes, 16 spares, and 10 tens for Jake. But what I can do is, while that's going on, let's go back and take a look at some of the... Oh, it's so easy when the cameras are off. Let's go through my replays here, and let's just take a look at some of the stuff that's going on. So the high-low jack here with a little bit of love and a kick for Jake. And I'm going to make sure I get my artwork out of the way as best as I can. Jake here looking early on at the 3-4-7. A nice pretty pickup and a convert there. I didn't bother doing any highlights of strikes. It seemed kind of redundant the way that these guys throw. So after that one, we got Jake here sitting at a nice 8-10 split with a little bit of piece of wood. And he decides to go outside and kick the plank into the 8 for a nice spare late in the game. Oh, was this a hammer? Did I take one? I think this was a nice little sweet side sweep. Kicking the 7 at the end to make Bob Lee happy so we can add that to his track. So here we are looking at the 3-6-10-4, so a 3-1 front. Nice little explosion from Jake as he kicks the side. Justin's like, well, I can do that, as he's looking at the 3-6-7. No wood to help him on this one, but clean as he kicks the 3 right off the front of the 7 pin. The Infinity Gauntlet here with the Horseman and the 9, but Waters with the strong ball is able to hit this heavier to get the head pin to flip over and drive back. A 1-3-6-7 sweep, so normally a pretty straightforward shot. Again, the head pin right down there. Alrighty, so a nice old 1-8. Just straight through. Actually, it was I take it back, that was a 1-5-8. So here we go. A piece of wood out to the side, a 5-7-8. We had a question on whether or not this was hit on the cap. There you go. I was wrong. Not the first time.
That
Yep.
was on the cap.
Yep.
Don't write anything. Just leave it at that.
I'm trying to work on a small view when I've got the score sheet up. All right, so here we go. This one made no sense. So at the 1-6-8-10, Jake fires one probably right where it should have been. I still don't know how that only took out the 1 and the 7. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here after those replays. And guys, thanks for watching me and hanging out. And I'll put a link up in that Candlepin chat thing so people can come and grab this video afterwards. Have a great night, guys.